and all that, how ignorance is way, way, way too glorified. And not only that, but
well, no, exactly. People that are even smart will act gangsterish and dumb down because it's seen as totally sexy. And I'm just so sick of, like, being at the park or something and there's, like, teenagers trying to act like gangsters. And I'm not looking for trouble, but, I mean, you mess with me, I'm going to start literally beating people's brains out. And, I mean, that's just how I am. I mean, you mess with me, I don't have a governor. You're going to get attacked like a savage gorilla is on top of you. I mean, that's just how I am. And I'm just, and so many of these people are wimps. And the minute they say something, you go, okay, you know, you got a problem? Then they back off. It's all, again, acting like you're tough. It's like all these guys in UFC shirts that'll, for no reason, say, you got a problem, buddy? When you're, you know, at a grocery store or something, you're like, no, I don't have a problem. And they start bowing up, and then all of a sudden you can't help it. You're like, well, go ahead and swing, punk. Let's go. And they're like, hey, man, what's your problem? Well, wait. Again, it's all about acting like they're these really cool people, when I'll guarantee you they hadn't been in a hospital, you know, with a concussion. I bet they haven't had their leg broken in a fight. I bet they haven't killed, you know, somebody in a fight. These people have never really lived, and they want you to think they're some powerful gangster. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I mean, what I really was going to touch on, too, though, is what you see a lot is, like, on Facebook.
They'll knock you up and down. They'll tread you all around and round. And as soon as your back is turned, they'll be trying to put you down. So don't you mind people grinning in your face.
A big storm requires big government. A disgusting article out of the New York Times. But the new religion in America, there's three groups of people, really. There's globalist, technocratic, crime syndicates that know the street, know how the world works, and decided to fleece the sheep. You've got good, hard-working people that try to work within the system that's fraudulent, who are being attacked and destroyed. And then you have the giant mass of dumbed-down Kim Kardashian, you know, fans who don't even know what day of the week it is, literally, who are in helpless zombie-like states, and all they know how to do is beg and plead and demand that somebody else's stuff is theirs. They are going to literally, societally, culturally eat us alive. This has happened everywhere. It's not like we're just theorizing. This is guaranteed. It's like you got gangrene on your leg and your toes are turning black and smelling. They're going to have to cut those toes off. And if they don't, you're going to lose the whole leg and then your whole body. You're going to die. Well, we have gangrene, flesh-eating bacteria all over us politically, okay? We're stumbling around. Snot's coming out of our nose. Our eyes are bloodshot. We've got 110 fever. This country is on death's doorstep, which is the plan. Going from liberty and 4% of the world's population having half the wealth because we weren't perfect. We had more freedom. And so it was a cornucopia. It was an engine of wealth. And we became spoiled brats, and people learned to sit around or get government jobs and, you know, festoon themselves and convince themselves that they make the earth, you know, turn and the grass grow and the birds sing. And again, I want to thank all of you for spreading the word about the show, but don't just think it's always going to be here. Don't just think that the system doesn't want this shut down. We don't make a big deal out of the constant persecution that goes on behind the scenes trying to get our eyes off the prize, and it isn't working. Whenever I get attacked, we just grow another tentacle. I'm like a starfish. We're like a hydra. Here, you cut one head off, two sprout. That's always been our rule, you know, is that when we get attacked, we only get stronger. That which does not kill you only makes you stronger. Don't agree a lot with what Friedrich Nietzsche said, but that's certainly true. And listen, I grew up pretty wild when I was there, and I didn't know till I was older that girlfriends would go off and have abortions. My God, I'm guilty of this. Not consciously, but I feel guilty every minute about it. They were telling me about some TV show where the guy's haunted by it. That must be a common thing, because I'm haunted by it every day. If I drive by an abortion clinic, folks, I shake. It's the only thing that makes me shake. I just can't believe it. Because I look at my 3 children now, and I would kill. If 100 men, I guarantee you, were armed, I'd probably kill 15 of them before they got me. I mean, I would fight like a savage wolf for my children. I know it. Because I've been in a lot of fights. I know what I fight like just when I was fighting, just to show people I wasn't a wimp. I guarantee you, folks, I could climb over people, rip their heads off if I had to for my children. And back when I was a stupid teenager, what, you had an abortion? Well, I didn't say that was okay. Oh, whatever. You know. What? That doesn't sound too good. As I got older, I realized, my God, 90% of people that have got the, you know, the will to come over and talk to somebody, they're going to be listeners because, hey, they like you. When people dislike you, you'll be in a restaurant, and you'll see some, you know, guy smiling and laughing. It's usually kind of a liberal professor, psychologist type. A lot of times I freak them out. I go, you're a psychologist, aren't you? And they'll go, well, how do you know that? And I go, well, you're a priest class. You're on a power trip. You think you know everything. I can tell what you are. It really freaks them out that you can guess who they are. But sometimes it's kind of a yuppie, nouveau riche, you know, guy out at 55 on his Harley. I've had them come over a few times. It's always these certain types, or it's punk kids. But you'll see them laughing at you, and they'll finally say, conspiracy theorist, and look to see if it hurts your feelings. And a lot of times I'm busy, I'll ignore them. But if they come over and start making jokes, like, are the black helicopters going to get me, or the Martians going to get me? And I'll look at them and I'll say, hey, how many family members you got that have got cancer right now or who've died of it young? If you think cancer's dying, you know, in the vaccines is funny, go ahead and laugh. But if I was you, I'd care about GMO sterilizing your butt. I'd care about aspartame giving you brain tumors. Don't sit there and come over and make a joke at me because you think all this is funny. And they'll go, I mean, I actually agree with you on a lot of stuff. And I asked my friend Tommy Pilata years ago about why they'll get in your face, but when you go back, they'll respond and grovel. And I said, it shows they're really awake. And he goes, no, that's not what it is, Alex. And I actually later learned he was right in a general sense. They are just flotsam and jetsam. They have no view of their own. And so when you're authoritative with them and don't grovel in fear, they just want to make you feel bad to make themselves feel good. When you slam them back, they're such followers, they'll start groveling. Because, you know, I've had guys walk over, you know, usually the kind of the redneck type and go, hey, kind of hit you on the shoulder. How you doing, Alex? And then grab your hand and start trying to crush it. You know, those types. And you'll pull your hand back and they're like, oh, hey, yeah, I really like what you're doing. Bet you're glad the troops are dying, you know, stuff like that. And I'll just be like, hey, man, if you don't agree with me, you don't need to talk to me. Just get out of my face. And the fact that you don't grovel to them, they're like, oh, no, it's all right. It's all right. I just meant, I'm like, just get out of my way. And again, it's the reality. People know reality. The fact that you're not starting to fight, but you're already thinking about how you're going to bounce their head off the concrete repeatedly. Because I'm not going to play games with somebody that's about to assault me. I'm just going to jump on top of you and slam your head in the ground a bunch. I'm going to attack you with 110% energy immediately. And you better hope you're a wrestling champion or something. I'm not trying to get up here like a wrestler and talk like I'm tough. My point is it's like that in politics or life or anywhere else. You've got to be explosive in business. You've got to be explosive in combat. You've got to be explosive in your responses to everything. And when these yuppies and ninnies and gangbangers and people want to get in your face and henpeck you, you've got to take it personally, America and the rest of the world, and get aggressive and say, don't tread on me. I ain't looking for trouble. But if you are looking for it, you came to the right place. Because none of us are going to get out of this alive. And when we have an attitude of rolling over like a bunch of sheep, wolves are going to come. Free men are ready to fight for their freedom anytime it needs to be done. But you've got to have more than just guts. You've got to have an intellect and a battlefield perspective to know what's going on in this world. And war, this life is a war. Life is a battle. And let me tell you what winning is. Being moral, being strong, making the right decisions, raising your children to be good people, and upholding your family name and moving the species forward. That's what victory is, and that's what we should be looking for. Let's go ahead and talk to Dalton in Georgia. I'm sorry I'm ranting, Dalton. I'm out of control. And I've always called for nonviolence. I've always called for a peaceful restoration of our republic. And I've had the Secret Service here 3 times. I've had the FBI here. I've had the ATF here trying to stir stuff up. I've had the FBI in there, came with the Austin police, point right at the wall and say, what's that? That's an Obama deception poster. What is that? That's a film. You know what that is. Well, what do you think of Obama? And I'm just like, you need to leave. You need to go. Well, wait, we were trying to find. Get out of my office, man. First Amendment. What is it you don't understand about it? Stop urinating up and down the Constitution. While a bunch of people sit there and say they're going to rip Mitt Romney's testicles off and burn U.S. cities, you're sitting there. It was years ago they were here. They haven't been back in a while. The point is, I read about it all the time. We're talk show hosts. Well, I've had them on. Have been arrested and put in mental institutions because they criticized Obama. Because they can't put you in jail, they put you in a mental institution. Marines have been arrested, all of it, we've covered it. And I'm telling you, these are authoritarians trying to take over. And if Mitt Romney gets in office and tries any of this, I'm going after him. But Mitt Romney will be facing re-election. And Mitt Romney will have a lot of conservatives trying to keep him on a short leash. He is a globalist. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't read, let's not exaggerate, 100 or more history books on World War II from different angles and perspectives. In fact, let me be honest, I probably read 150. I forgot, like in a one-year period, I read about 50 one time, got totally addicted. I know all their names. I know about the fights with secret societies in each country. I know all about the Roman Empire. I know all about the Byzantine Empire. I know all about the different African empires. I know about the Chinese empires. I know about the Japanese empires. I know about the Mesoamerican empires. I know it all, a general understanding of what humans do. And let me give you the little news flash here. We're going in to absolute red-hot despotism. And you're like, well, things are bad, but they don't look, they're going to implode everything. I know you can argue the socialist view, and it sounds good, but it can do some good for a little while, but it always becomes the greatest evil. It's like the Ring of Mordor. Libertarian constitutionalism, rugged individualism, that's the way to go. The eugenicists want socialism to control people. They want socialism to dominate and take control of you, not to lift you up. Okay, if angels were dispensing socialism, it still would probably create a problem down the road. Look, if you go to the park and feed the squirrels and feed the pigeons, they're going to overproduce and sit there and not do any work. If you feed the bears, they start coming into camp and don't know how to get food for themselves anymore, and they don't like how you know, bugs and carrion and mushrooms taste anymore, and they start breaking in your house and they start killing you. You know, if you get in their way when they're ripping open your refrigerator. And it's the same thing. This is what made Rome fall. And so all the socialists have got their reasons, low-level socialists, how they imagine they would divvy up all the goods and how government programs would build things. And to a certain extent, if it's raw infrastructure, yeah, it actually works. But then even that becomes corrupt. And then they use the infrastructure as a control grid. You know, it's like anything you build with the Ring of Mordor, any victory you have will end up, it's like the old legends of genies. I don't really believe in genies, but you know, it's the parable of, if you read, you know, the old Arabic things about genies, if you ask a genie for a ton of gold, first say, in front of me 20 feet, I want a ton of gold placed, and then as part of that, you are to swear to never do me harm or have anyone else do me harm. It's like a legalese, you understand? You get the lamp or the ring of power. Okay? You can't use the ring of power. You understand that? Because anything you do, you ask for the ton of gold, what does the genie do? It's always going to be more sophisticated and devious than you can be because it's ageless. It will figure out a way to destroy you with what you get. Do you understand that? Do you understand? You cannot use the lamp, you cannot use the ring of power, because it comes from a source of evil. It will come back and bite you in the butt. You understand? It's the Faustian riddle. You can make the deal. You can make the deal with the devil, and you could have always gotten out of it by repenting. The devil's lie is that it's always too late when it's never too late. You understand? Even don't believe in God. I'm talking about good and evil here, folks. Right and wrong. You trick yourself. Faust could have been free at any time by saying, I don't want what you've got to offer. I'm done. But he believed he was trapped. And people believe that the power they innately feel, well, if I just had some magic thing, if I just served evil, if I just did something bad, then it would prove myself, and then evil would give me power. Evil will only give you destruction. Any temporal power you get is a curse. Oh, many of you will never understand it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Kevin in Illinois, you're on the air. Welcome. Sick of the globalists, eugenicists, control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure. And it's available discounted at Infowars.com.